So if you just want to go in and take a seat, who's going to be the brave enough person to take the bowl and dish out the mealworms? If you want to take a seat, obviously just be careful where they are. If you want to take some out and just spread them on the floor and things, it will be safe enough for you. It will be safe enough to sit down there. Now we do have a family group in here. There's mum and dad, and then there are 3 daughters. I don't know what it is, but it must be the genes. The two males that we have, all they do seem to produce females. So we do have to be careful, and we have to worry about inbreeding. So because they're kept in family groups, we've got none of that worry. Because mum will tell all the young daughters off, and also. If you want the mealworms on you, I can put some parts on you.
Is it okay for me to open them all like this?
What's that? Yeah. All these mealworms in here for them. Now, meerkats have a few adaptations on their body that help them. Sometimes it can also hinder them. Their eyesight up close is similar to a camera out of focus. They can see things, but it's very blurry. So what they do is they try and use their nose. So that's
oh, the wriggling.
As you lean over to stroke them, say you have something sweet or sugary on your fingers, that's when they'll nibble. But because they're in here, they can see it's attached to a human, so they don't.
Try and push it as well.
I was going to say, what I'll try and do is I will try and steal some of these off him. Because otherwise none of the others are going to get them. There you go.
Come on, no, give me some more.
Now they will... Hey! Being brave enough to hold them.
Yeah, they're wriggling.
As you can see, they know where your fingers are and they know where a mealworm is. So they're not as those people think they're savage, but they're not. They're actually very, very friendly or quite curious. So sometimes they'll dig at your shoes, they'll climb on you and all sorts of things like that. Now they have like a coarse textured hair. This is just to help keep parasites off so they can roll in the sand like chinchillas and get rid of any parasites. Underneath it's very thin so they can attract heat or expel heat very quickly underneath, just similar to an alpaca. The eyes have a 3rd membrane. Guys, can you ask me to try and keep the kids so nice and quiet? Also, the membrane that covers over their eyes to get rid of any dirt and debris out of their eyes is called a nictating membrane, or a 3rd eyelid, and this will just get rid of any rubbish that's in their eyes as they dig and stick their nose right in the sand and the head goes buried in the sand. If anyone's had sand in their eye, you know how painful it can be. So for a meerkat, they're extremely painful because they can't get rid of them. But this membrane does get rid of it. Now, do you know when there's this curiosity can kill the cat? Curiosity does get meerkats killed a lot. Because when they go down burrows running away from a bird of prey, aeroplanes are their birds of prey in this country. So they run away from aeroplanes. They'll run down tunnels. There's no predators in these tunnels. But in the wild there could be a variety of different predators ranging from reptiles to carnivorous mammals, or even it could be just an odd docile tortoise that's not going to do any harm at all. Just might be quite clumsy and squish them up against the wall as it tries to push itself out. Other than that, there's no real threats from a tortoise, but from the other ones they can get bit by a venomous snake, or bitten or killed from a monitor lizard like a boss monitor or savannah monitor. So that's where you get the curiosity kill the cat. Now the one that's sitting on your lap is called Captain. Captain is one of the young females, but she takes it on herself to be quite dominant. So she'll be a very, very good mum. The only problem is she has. We think there's something genetically wrong with her eyes. That she's got her brown rings around the black bits of her eyes. It should just all be black, and then obviously the whites of the eyes still stays the same. So that's why we're not going to breed from her if we ever did sadly lose mum. Now what that one's doing is actually defending its food using its back and its body. and it will do this in the wild to try and stop other predators or other meerkats from stealing its food. Now they communicate in about 22 different vocalisations, and they have said, but we don't know if it's true yet, that this group of meerkats, and we put it with a group of meerkats, say, from another zoo, they won't actually understand each other because they are trying to prove that they do have dialects. Because there are 5 subspecies of meerkats, but there are some zoos that don't understand and they can't tell the difference apart. And it's all needs to do with some different colours and head shapes and things like that, so there's not a real definitive answer. So that's why all meerkats in captivity are all called Slender-tailed meerkats. And the average weight for a meerkat in captivity is a lot more than it would be in the wild because they can get well fed in captivity, whether it be in members of public feeding them or like ourselves, we can feed them. So the average weight is about 1.2 kilos is an average weight for a meerkat in captivity. In the wild it's between 500 and 800 grams, so it's almost double the weight in captivity than it is in the wild, because in the wild they might only eat out of 3 or 4 times out of the week, where in captivity they're fed every day. You can recreate that in captivity, but sometimes some keepers can't always grasp that they've got to have a starve day, things like they'll do it with the cats, as Kate might mention when doing some of the stuff around the cats. They'll have starve days to get rid of toxins. Meerkats will have starve days because they can't find food. Not because they don't want to, it's just they can't find it. If they could, they'd eat all day and every day, and as much as they can get hold of, because it's like a survival thing with meerkats. The biggest group number in the wild is 50, the lowest is 20, so you can see there are big groups sizes out there. And they all have their own little set jobs. Alphas, then there's also sentries, babysitters, and then just general cannon fodder for other groups of meerkats. They're called beaters. Similar, it's most hierarchy or sort of group structures of animals are all go around the Greek alphabet. Obviously they're using ancient languages and letters. It's easy the way that, and also alpha sounds a lot better than dominant. So but yeah. Is there anything you want to know about the meerkats?
No.
That one's Picasso. We tell them apart by the different lengths of blackness on their tail or different things on their bodies. There's one sentry up there. This one here is Twig. The one that's digging at your shoes is Captain. That one up there is more likely going to be Dad, which is Leo, and the female probably. She's quite scary. She's quite a scaredy cat as well as he is. And this one here is that one's Bluebell. Bluebell's mum, as you can see, when you try and stroke her, she'll just generally sort of dart away. The babies have been used to being around.
That's the dominant male.
That's the dominant male, yeah. And this one here is the dominant female. She sometimes does climb on you, and she will be stroked a little bit, but most of the time she does try and walk away. Oh, you found a friend.
The wallabies loved him as well.
Right, so I hope you enjoyed that, and Kate's going to take you and show you some of the other animals.